Welcome to Mastering Your Financial Life, hosted by Judy Heft, the founder and CEO of Judith Heft and Associates Financial and Lifestyle Concierge. This year, they're celebrating 26 years in business. In every episode, Judy interviews professionals who help others successfully manage their financial lives. You can find this show on YouTube, LinkedIn, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and more. Judy is the author of 2 books, How to Be Smart, Successful, and Organized with Your Money for a Better Today and Tomorrow, and her latest book, Mastering Your Financial Life Cycles, How to Successfully Manage Money in Every Decade of Life. You can read chapters of her books and catch prior episodes of this show at www.judithheft.com. Now here's the host of Mastering Your Financial Life, Judy Heft.
Hi, everybody. Welcome, Joel. So, everybody, I'm really thrilled to have Joel as my guest today on my podcast. Joel is a best-selling author, and he's an award-winning speaker and a prosperity coach. He's a finance and mindful money coach. And what he does is he helps others overcome their obstacles that are standing in the way of financial freedom. And he does a lot of great things. I've attended his workshops, and they're very, very helpful. So, Joel, thank you for being my guest here. And I think that, I introduced you a little bit, but if I left anything out, do you want to add it?
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me here today, Judy. I really appreciate you. It's such an honor to be here. So, I think the biggest thing you left out is I'm the proud daughter of 2 awesome, amazing, caring, thoughtful, beautiful, intelligent daughters, Lauren and Morgan. And my company's named after them, SaLaurMor. So Laur for Lauren, Moore for Morgan, S-A for the first 2 letters of my last name. So SaLaurMor. Named after my daughters, Lauren and Morgan. Lauren just went into Syracuse University. She's 18 and Morgan 16 and just got a driver's license.
Congratulations. That's exciting. Be careful. You'll have a little bit more to worry about, but that's the way it goes. That's part of the plan, right?
Well, I tell my clients worry is negative future planning. So think about what you want to happen. Have faith in your dreams and desires as opposed to thinking about the negatives in your life.
That's so cool that you're saying that, because I really do believe that what you put out there in the universe is what you get. And if you put that negative energy out there, you're definitely going to get that back. So I'd really try to, think positively all the time. But sometimes a little negativity creeps in. I'm human, can't help that. But so that's
Absolutely.
great. Yeah. So I know that you've written, your book, you have a recent book out, and you want to tell us a little bit about that. What's the name and, what's it about?
Sure. So, I've written 3 books. The last one is called Infinite Love and Money, which I know you have a copy of. Handed it to you in person when we met last year. Yes. So Infinite Love and Money is co-authored with Molly Singh. And I had an epiphany when I was jogging one morning in 2019, having finished my second book, The 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use, that I should write a book with a relationship coach in order to end divorce caused by money. And that's the purpose of that book. So Molly and I came together. She's an expert relationship coach and all these certifications. And I'm the money guy. And so I wrote the chapters on the money. She wrote the chapters on the relationship. It's really an exercise book. So we put together exercises for the couples for each chapter. So it's really meant to be read by you and your partner. Not alone. So you read it with your partner and you go over the questions, and it's really to improve the communication in the relationship about money so that before any problems occur. If you're in a relationship where you're already having problems, not too late to read it before things get worse. But it's all about communication and doing the exercises. And we created 7 money personality types in order for the readers to figure out which ones they are. And then, so there's a survey in the book that you can fill out, and then have your partner fill it out, and then see where you guys have synergies and then where there are differences and how to come together, because there are benefits for each of the money personality types. So it's I think it's a really awesome book that it's very different from any book out there on money and relationships. And we actually read all the books that are out there. There's not a lot of books out there on money and relationships. So I'd urge people to take a look. It's available on my website. It's available on Amazon.
I wish that's a great wedding gift to give someone now that you're talking about it. I wish I had it when I first got married, because one of the things my sister said to me was, "You're going to fight over money and kids." And I'm like, no, yes. That's what we fought about. And, money was always a big issue in my relationship with my ex. And we never really figured it out how to make it work. So maybe if we had your little manual, it might have, saved us a little bit. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, it sounds like it's really a good thing. I'm going to think about that for wedding gifts from now on. Thanks for that reminder. So what life lessons have you learned that have had, the greatest impact on you, and how did you learn those lessons? Because I think sometimes we learn lessons that, they come to us the wrong way. I think a friend of mine used to say, another friggin' growth experience. That's how we get our lessons. So what do you have to add to that?
It's a really good question, because I've had a lot of life lessons. I think the most important ones have been in my personal relationships. And I'm also divorced twice. And I tell people my last former wife is my greatest teacher. And she's taught me how to be more caring and thoughtful. She's taught me how to accept compromise. And she's taught me how to deal with rejection. So all those things are important life lessons in my personal life. Professionally, I think the biggest life lessons I've had have been when there has been diversity. So I started my own hedge fund in 2012 after having gotten laid off from a large financial institution that year. So, I say in the 9 Money Rules, this is a quote from the 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use, my second book: "From bad things come good things, and from terrible, awful things come amazing, great things." So, when the proverbial crap is hitting the fan, go tap dance on your dining room table, because something awesome is going to be happening. It may not be the next day or next week, but get ready, because there's good stuff on the horizon. And, for me, when I was starting my hedge fund, I had 2 companies orally agreed to give me money. And so I moved into my office on 54th and Madison Avenue. I sublet from the broker, and I had this beautiful view of Madison Avenue. I felt like I'd arrived. And so I called up the 2 companies, and both of them backed out.
Oh my goodness. You must have been devastated.
I had no pipeline. I was like, and I'd spent all this money on lawyer and accountant and auditor and the real estate, and even went so far as to hire a couple of people. And so what did I do? So my biggest lesson from that was #doubt the doubt. #doubt the doubt. Have faith in your dreams, because this was my biggest dream, to have my own company, manage my own hedge fund. If you had asked me in 1992, this was 2012, 20 years later, if you asked me what my dream was in 1992, I would have said money manager. That was my big dream. And I got a lot of doubt along the way, but I actually was there. I was in the office with no money and no pipeline. So I started, one of the things I did was to act as if we already had the investor. And what I did in that way was I called up my employees who I was about to hire, and I said, I'd like to have you stay on until we actually have the money and commit to, the SaLaurMor Capital. That was the name of the hedge fund. And they were like, sure. And the other thing I did is we went and went to conferences, even though we didn't have any money. And we asked the tough questions of the companies we were going to invest in. I did something even more crazy. I put together a spreadsheet, and calculated the amount of money we were making each day as if we were already invested.
I love that exercise. That's great. Yeah,
And then,
you know, not to interrupt, but it reminds me of an exercise that one of my coaches once told me. It's just to write yourself a big, huge check and sign it. You know, I have a fake checking account and just write big checks to yourself for thousands and thousands and millions of dollars.
Actually, I did that too. I've done that too.
I like that.
So I truly believe by acting as if we had the money, we got the money. It was 90 days later that we had a signed written agreement from an insurance company that they were committing to give us money to manage.
That's
and
fantastic.
So, I truly believe if you do these things, by acting as if you have what you want, you will get what you want.
That's a great reminder, Joel. Thank you for saying all that. It makes sense to me too. I really believe it also, but like I said earlier, sometimes things slip away when you get caught up in life and you forget to put those positive vibes out there. So I love the acting as if. That's a very cool thing that you did. So, you know, was there an exercise? So that's kind of the exercise that you did, was doing the spreadsheet and acting as if and reaching out to your potential or future employees and telling them that you had no money. You must have been very honest and transparent with them to let them know what was going on so that they didn't feel duped. And I think that's really the best way to handle a business, is always try to be honest with people. And I think that's what really helped you. So then what happened after that?
So we got the money. Yeah. So we got the money. We started on June 13, 2013. I told one of my employees to just stay home work from home in 2013 was not a common thing.
Right.
Now it is. But back then I told them, just work from home. It's okay. You know, I'd rather have you not, be in the office, because we were paying for office space. So let's just manage the budget better and go to the conferences. So he did. And then I hired my CFO once we actually had that signed agreement. And so she wasn't on the payroll until we actually had the money. So I actually ran that hedge fund for almost 4 years. We did really well, and I might still be doing that if I didn't go to a personal development course and have two things happen there that completely changed my life. And I did that in December 2015. I went to this course, and one thing that happened was there was a guest speaker there speaking about stocks and stock options. And when he spoke about stock options in particular, he made it sound like this is the only way to get rich. He said, you don't need much time. You don't need much money. This is how the rich people get rich, and options are essentially risk-free. And it was day 2 of the conference. People knew I was a hedge fund manager, so they were tapping me on the shoulder, whispering in my ear, Joel, does this make sense? So after he was done, we went out of the auditorium. I told them, please don't do this. He has no idea about your earnings or cash flow or tax status or risk tolerance. And most importantly, no idea about your belief that you can become rich using stock options. See, out of the 200 people in the room, only a handful of people were likely to become rich using stock options. And yet more than 50 ran to the back of the room to sign up. I was sick to my stomach. Now, the second thing that happened at that course was we were given a wooden board 2 inches thick, and we were told we're going to break it with our bare hand. I don't know if you've done this, Judy, but there was a lot of fear in the room. The exercise was called Obstacles or Illusions. And on one side of the board, we had to write our biggest obstacle. On the other side, our ultimate goal, which stumped me for a while. And then it hit me. Make everyone in this room financially free. I went home that night and I couldn't sleep. First, the guy was in my head. And I realized if I could ever get up the courage to speak in front of 200 people. See, my biggest fear in life, December 2015, was public speaking. But if I could ever overcome that fear, I could be authentic, tell people the truth about money, and be of service. And then the second thing going on in my head at 3:30, 4 in the morning was that wooden board staring back at me, make everyone in this room financially free. And then it hit me. So at 4:30, I quickly got dressed, commuted into Manhattan, and sent an email to my investors telling them I'm giving them the money back. I'm shutting down my fund. I figured out my true purpose in life, to help people become financially free.
Wow, that's an amazing story, Joel. That's so cool that you did that. And it really is all about mindset, isn't it? That you've helped so many people. I love that. I love that you did that, make everybody in this room financially free. And it happened, right? You're really helping a lot of people. You have your books, you have your webinars that help so many people, your courses, and you had this fear of public speaking, and look at you now. You do videos all the time. You're out there. You're really an award-winning speaker, and just because you changed your mindset. I love that. That is so cool.
Yeah, I'm actually my biggest one of my proudest moments was in August of 2022 when I recorded my TEDx talk.
Oh, that's cool.
So it hasn't gone live quite yet, but hopefully in the next few months, obviously the purpose of this talk is to help people become financially free, to give them a couple of specific exercises they can use in their daily lives so that they can move towards financial freedom.
Oh, that's exciting. I can't wait to listen to it. Wonderful. That's great. So we're going to take a little break right now, and then we'll come back and we'll talk some more. Thanks, Joel.
Hey there. I just want to tell you a little bit about my new book that just came out called Mastering Your Financial Life Cycles. And here it is. It's how to successfully manage your money in every decade of life. I co-authored this with my CFO, Liz Levy. And together we created this manual that's going to help you through every stage of life. We talk about having a baby. We talk about young adulthood, pre-retirement, what to do when you're at that age of retirement. If you're contemplating divorce, do you need an estate plan? We cover all of these, each subject in a different chapter. And I really think that you're going to find this so helpful, because at the end of every chapter, we have checklists that you can look at and you can use, and they can be a guide for you. So this is a wonderful manual that we've created. It's available on Amazon. You can also find it on our website at judithheft.com/book. And we're here for you. If you need anything, reach out. I hope you enjoy the book. Here's another picture of it, just so you know what's going on. Here it is. And I'm really proud of it. It's my second book. And I'd love to have you read it and give me your feedback. Judy Heft, judithheft.com, financial and lifestyle concierge, celebrating 26 years in business. And over the years, I've learned so much. And what I've been trying to do is impart a little bit of this knowledge to you, so I can help all of you become as financially organized as I am.
And we're back with Joel again, Master Prosperity Coach, Joel Salomon. And Joel has so many great tips for us. So I know that, like you switch gears there, going from a hedge fund operator, owner, investor, to now helping people. Is that what you consider your life's purpose, is to really help people become financially empowered?
Yes. So yeah, I figured it out maybe a little bit late in life. I did figure it out what my purpose is. So yeah, I think my purpose, and I actually have said this publicly, my mission is to help at least 100,000 people become financially free. So the question is, what does financial freedom mean to you? To me, financial freedom is doing what I love, where I love to do it, with the ones I love, for as much time or as little time as I want to. And so, but I think, people need to know what financial freedom means to them. What does it look like? Have a vision, have the dream. And then, because when you know what your why is for the financial freedom, I think you're much more apt to go for it. And so that's what I'm working with people on in one-on-one coaching, in group courses, and my membership, which is called the Money Miracles membership, because miracles are truly happening within it. We members have manifested over $969,000 in 12 months. It's just mind blowing. Yeah.
That's exciting. Just from changing their mindset and for doing the right things. Really? Yeah. Wow. I love that. I really believe in money mindset too. I've done a little bit of coaching and studied about the different money types. And I know that we learn our money habits as children, whether they're good ones or bad ones. We emulate the adults in our life, parents, grandparents, other meaningful adults, and they're not all good, so we become the victim or the martyr, or all different kinds of the fool and the innocent. There's just lots of different titles out there, names that we put on ourselves, and we need to figure out how to break through them. And it's so great that you're helping all these people. So, what are some of the tips that you have for our listeners?
Well, we talked about acting as if. I think that's
Right.
a really big tip, to think about what you want, to act as if it's already happened, and think about the ways you're acting right now that may not be serving you. I teach rule number 1 in the 9 money rules is when you believe, right? When you believe. And so what are your beliefs around money? And you may not have to specifically write them down, but look at the actions you take. Maybe just follow yourself, take a step outside of your body and have an out of body experience for one day and look at what actions you're taking throughout the day. One of my clients told me that he was taught growing up, as you said, a lot of what we know about money is through osmosis from our parents and friends. So one of my clients told me that he was taught growing up by his dad that whenever you're brushing your teeth, to make sure you push, get a wooden board and push that toothpaste up so you don't miss one drop of that toothpaste. Right. So is that a prosperity mindset or a poverty conscious mindset? Are you thinking about lack and scarcity or abundance? And how much are you saving if you miss that last drop of toothpaste? Right. I mean, I teach abundance and prosperity. A lot of people teach, cutting back, make sure you budget. I'm not saying don't budget. I think it's important to know where your money is so that you can know what you need to become financially free. But it's also important to have the abundance mindset and know that, there's $450 trillion of net worth on this earth. And you were born to thrive, not survive. Right. So that there's a huge amount of abundance on this earth for you. And I believe that, affirmations can help you. I am money magnet. Money comes easily and frequently. One of my clients, when they first heard that, or she was a prospective client, she said, "Did you say money comes easily and infrequently? Because that's what's happening to me." I'm like, no, stop. Well, that's a negative. That's a limiting belief. So think about the actions you're taking throughout the day. Are you going to the gas pump now with gas prices elevated and only putting $10 in, and then maybe waiting a couple of days and then putting 10? Like, why aren't you filling up? Is it because you're worried that you're not going to have enough money tomorrow? I know 78% of the United States is living paycheck to paycheck, but part of that, and maybe most of that, is because they have this poverty conscious mindset. So look at the actions you're taking throughout the day, and how are they serving you because you're acting in abundance and prosperity, or are they not serving you because they're actions you're taking because of worry and scarcity and lack? And then flip them. See how you can act as if the money's flowing. Another really powerful technique you can use is, say you want to go on that dream vacation. You don't have to spend any money to plan that dream vacation. Go online, check out, say it's going to the island of Maldives, and stay in one of those huts with the jacuzzi and 6x6 pool and the slide that goes right into the turquoise waters. Check it out. See how much that is. You don't have to pay for anything now. Check out which hotels would be the ones that you'd really want to go to. Check out how long the flight is, where the connections are. Maybe you have some frequent flyer miles. Check out how much you would need. Maybe check out, the different excursions. You want to go jet skiing or snorkeling or scuba diving. Maybe there's other island hops you can do. So do all that work. Act as if you're about to go. I did this in 2021 in January because I wanted to go to Egypt, and things were still pretty much shut down. But I had this dream that I wanted to get to Egypt. And in January of 2022, I went to Egypt.
That's great. And you had planned it all out a year in advance?
In my head.
In your
head. By checking out all the how much frequent flyer miles would it take? Is there any way to get there direct from the JFK? No. Okay. So I got to fly through Paris. Okay. What airlines? What airline do I have my frequent flyer miles on? Okay. Let's call them up and see if they're transferable to another airline? What are their alliances with? Doing all that background work a year in advance. And so the manifestation took 12 months. Not too bad.
That's great. And what do you think about vision boards? I think vision boards really help too, because you're just putting all that out on paper and then you're looking at it all the time. It works for me. And then I'm looking at it and then those things come to fruition if you look at them enough and you really believe that they're going to happen.
Absolutely. And I truly believe in vision boards. I have 3. I have one just for travel. And in fact, on my website, SaLaurMor.com, under the inspiration tab, if you go down to travel, you can see all the places that I either want to go to or have been to. And what I did was, this is a really powerful technique. You can do it with a vision board too. Put pictures of places you've already been with you there, and then put pictures that you have of places you want to go to, you haven't been to yet. This is what I did on my website in the end of 2017. I haven't adjusted it yet, but there are pictures of places I wanted to go to in 2017, like Machu Picchu, Egypt, India, Bangkok. I've been to all those places except for India, which I'm going in January 2023.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, I think that, I did a vision board a couple of years ago. I think now that I'm talking to you, I got to do a new one. But I had put some pictures of Paris on there. And then the next thing I knew, I was invited to a workshop in Paris, and I went. And I hadn't really thought about that, but I had the Eiffel Tower and some other, mine was a lot of vacation stuff too, and a beach house. I got to redo it. But yeah, because my vision has changed in a few years. But
yeah, and by the way, this is a really powerful exercise to do, not only just on vision boards, but write down your goals and dreams and desires, and then read them out loud 3 times a day, right when you get up, at lunchtime, around 12 or 1, and then right before you go to sleep. Because you're getting it into you're in your alpha state right when you wake up and right before you go to sleep. And when you're repeating your dreams and desires into your subconscious, they are going to happen quick. And this is one of the powerful techniques I do with my one-on-one clients. And it's just mind blowing what's been going on.
This is great, Joel. I love talking to you, and I think I'm going to reach out to you offline to do some one-on-one coaching. I think that would be really helpful to me too, because I do have some blocks in there, even though I try not to. But yeah, I could definitely use some of your coaching. So how can people reach you? Where can they find you?
Yeah, so I mentioned my name of my company, SaLaurMor.com. So it's SaLaur for Lauren, MOR for Morgan.com. So SaLaurMor.com. If anyone's interested in the low-priced Money Miracles membership, it's $59 a month, and I've recorded 7 hours worth of videos. We have bonus experts. We have accountability partners. You even get a free 1-hour powerful prosperity coaching session, and we have a reward system in it that I started in the last few months, where you could win 3 months of free coaching. $7,500 value for 3 months of free coaching, and you're only paying $59 a month. So I think it's an awesome membership. The community is awesome. There's a lot of good souls, and people are succeeding, right? $969,000 of manifestations is just, again, mind blowing to me how this is going on. But it's a great community. People are really succeeding.
That's wonderful. It's really exciting to talk to you and hear about all these great things. And I love the energy that surrounds you. So thank you for being my guest, and stick around after the final commercial and we can chat for a minute. Thank you, Joel.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Mastering Your Financial Life, hosted by Judy Heft. Thank you for your positive reviews, comments, and sharing this show with others. You can read chapters of Judy's books and catch prior episodes of Mastering Your Financial Life at www.judithheft.com.